Leading leaders is not easy, but you know what? It's rewarding. It requires a different approach, a different mindset, and a different level of leadership skills. When you're able to lead a team of leaders who are independent thinkers, high achievers, risk takers, and accountability seekers, you're going to catapult your business to a completely new level. Today, I'm going to outline how to jumpstart that process. Let's dive in. Let's talk about leading leaders. It's not as easy as it sounds. Leading a team of regular employees is one thing, but leading a team of leaders, a completely different ballgame. Why? Why is that so hard? Why is it so different? First, leaders are not followers. They're independent thinkers. They got a strong sense of self and they're not afraid to speak their minds. So when you're leading leaders, you're not just leading one person. You must remind yourself that you're leading a group of individuals. Those groups may be highly aligned, but each one has its own opinion, its own perspective, and its own set of ideas. And that can be a challenge. Second, leaders have high expectations. They're not satisfied with mediocrity, and they're not afraid to push for more. So when you're leading leaders, you're not just leading a team, you're leading a group of high achievers. And that means that you must be on your game. You must bring your A game all the time. Third, leaders are not afraid of taking risks. They're not afraid to step outside their comfort zone, try new things. So when you're leading leaders, you must remind yourself that you're leading a group of risk takers. And that means that you need to be willing to take risks and be comfortable with uncertainty so you role model the way for them. Lastly, leaders are not afraid of accountability. They're not afraid to take responsibility for actions, and they're not afraid to hold others accountable. So when you're leading leaders, you gotta remind yourself that you're leading a group of accountability seekers. And that means that you too need to be willing to admit when you're wrong and take responsibility for your action so you role model accountability for them. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Leading leaders is hard, but it's really satisfying, right? It requires a different approach, a different mindset, and a different level of leadership skills. When you build and lead a team of leaders, you're gonna be able to do some really cool and amazing things and also have a ton of fun in the process. But let's flip this upside down for a second and talk about the reality of leading leaders. Many senior leaders think they're leading a team of independent thinkers, high achievers, risk takers, and accountability seekers, as I just mentioned. But the truth is this, not all leaders are like that. Sometimes you're leading a team of followers, mediocre performers, risk-averse individuals, and accountability avoiders. So what happens when you're leading leaders who are like that? First, you're going to struggle to get things done. That's just a fact, right? They're going to be content with the status quo, which will not get you or them anywhere. Second, you're going to struggle to achieve your goals. When you're leading mediocre performers, they're not going to push themselves to be better, and they're not going to push you to be better. They're going to be okay with achieving average results, and that's not going to get the business to where it needs to be. Third, you're going to struggle to be innovative. When you're leading risk-averse individuals, they're not going to push for new ideas, and they're not going to push you to try new ideas. They'll be content with doing things the same way, which is not going to help anybody. And lastly, you're going to struggle to hold people accountable. When you're leading accountability avoiders, they're not going to take responsibility for their actions, and they're not going to hold others on their team accountable. They're going to be content with just like passing the buck. And that's going to create a morale problem. You as the leader, you just can't sit back and hope that your team become these independent thinkers, high performers, risk takers, and accountability seekers. No, you need to take action. So, what can you do to ensure that you're leading leaders that are doing those things? First, you need to invest in up-leveling your leadership skills. See, many leaders think that just because someone is a leader, they know how to lead. That's not true. Leading is a skill, and it's something that can be learned and developed and enhanced and refined over time. Even the best leaders need to continue to hone and refine their skills. It's amazing for me when we mix senior leaders and junior leaders in our workshops. Like, I just love watching that. The junior folks look up to and learn from those that are more senior. And the more experienced leaders always tell me how much they love the opportunity to enhance their skills even further, and how the junior folks are reminding them of like some real basic things, right? I will tell you what I tell them. Every leader is a teacher. To become a great teacher, one must first become a great student. If you want to invest in up-leveling your team's leadership skills, sign them up for our next 12-week Self-Taught Leadership Program. Follow the link in the description for more details, and you can read the massive reviews from all levels within an organization. Okay, next, you need to set an example. When you're leading leaders, they're going to be watching your every move. You have to be an independent thinker, a high performer, and a risk taker, and you got to be an accountability seeker yourself. You have to role model the way for them. You also need to create a culture that fosters these things. See, when you're leading leaders, you need to create an environment that fosters independent thinking, that fosters high performance, risk taking, and accountability. Encourage experimentation and learning from failure. I know it's crazy, but like, encourage that. There's a reason why I named my last book Freedom to Experiment, right? Lastly, you need to hold your team accountable. You need to set boundaries and hold them accountable for their actions. Look for opportunities to reinforce those habits and behaviors that you expect in every interaction. Let them see how important they are to you. As I said earlier, leading leaders is not easy, but it's worth it. When you create a culture that encourages and invests in building independent thinkers, high performers, risk takers, and accountability seekers, you're going to lead a team of badasses who will move your business from good to great and fast. If you're a C-level executive who wants to up-level your leadership team, take the first step and go to clevelfreedom.com, and I'll show you how to transform your mid-level leaders into growth champions so they give you the freedom to focus on doing what you love. Follow the link in the description if you're interested. If you're not at that stage yet, I'd love to buy you a copy of my book, Freedom to Experiment, How to Ignite a New Level of Energy, Focus, and Momentum in yourself and your team. Follow the link in the description, and I'll personally sign a copy for you. Okay. If you like what I shared today, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment related to your business, and of course subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content to help you and your team embrace change, focus your efforts, and accelerate results. Remember this, you're just one idea away. We'll talk to you soon.